Have you ever looked up a local service and wondered how one company just seems to be everywhere? It's not luck, and it's definitely not magic. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the exact playbook a pest control company used to go from being a local secret to a local superstar. This is their story.
It's such a frustrating question, isn't it? I mean, you could be the absolute best at what you do, with tons of happy customers, but you're still losing business to the company that just shows up first on a Google search. That's the core problem we're digging into right here. So, let's meet our hero. This is the story of BaaDigi Pest Control, a fantastic, family-run business in central New Jersey that was staring this exact problem right in the face. Now, BaaDigi was the real deal. They're based in Middletown, and they were the folks you called for the really tough jobs, termites, rodents, you name it, across 4 different counties. Their reputation, word of mouth, was stellar. The problem? If you didn't already know about them, you'd probably never find them online. They were practically invisible. Okay, so how do you fix a problem like that? Well, you don't start with shortcuts or fancy tricks. You start at the very beginning by building a rock-solid foundation online.
And look, real results don't happen overnight. It's a process. For BaaDigi, it kicked off with a brand new website in May of 2023. That was followed by about 6 months of really intense, focused SEO work. And only then did the growth really start to take off.
This wasn't just some generic website either. It was a machine designed specifically to turn a visitor into a paying customer. Of course, it was mobile-friendly, but it also had dedicated pages for every single service. Termites, bedbugs, rodents. And it was loaded with trust signals, big click-to-call buttons, super simple contact forms, and testimonials from actual customers.
A great website is like your home base, but you still got to get people to come visit, right? So the next phase was all about winning the digital neighborhood, making sure that when someone nearby searched for their services, BaaDigi was the first name they saw.
The approach here was a simple, powerful 3-step process. First up, they completely revamped BaaDigi's Google business profile. That info box with the map that shows up. Next, they got the business listed perfectly across the top 60 online directories. And finally, they fine-tuned the website itself with really smart on-page SEO.
Now, that second step is built on a concept that sounds kind of technical, but is actually super simple. It's called NAP consistency. Name, address, phone number. It just means making sure your business info is written exactly the same way everywhere online, from Yelp to Angie to wherever else. When you do that, it sends this huge trust signal to Google that says, hey, this is a real, legitimate business, and that helps you rank higher. It's so important. Okay, so the foundation is solid. They're winning their home turf. But remember, BaaDigi serves 4 entire counties. How do you possibly scale your reach to cover that much ground? Well, this is where the secret weapon comes in.
I mean, just think about it for a second. If you serve 100 different towns, are you really going to sit down and manually build a separate web page for termite control in Red Bank and then another one for rodent removal in Holmdel? No way. It would take forever and cost a fortune.
See, the old way is exactly that. Manual, slow, expensive. But the new way? That's programmatic SEO. You create one perfect page template, and then a system automatically generates hundreds of unique, optimized pages for every single town and service combination you can think of. It's like, instead of building a house brick by brick, you've got a factory that can produce an entire neighborhood for you.
And just like that, with this programmatic approach, BaaDigi suddenly had a digital presence in Red Bank, Toms River, Holmdel, Freehold, Edison, you name it. They were showing up for searches in hundreds of towns all at once.
So, the strategy sounds really impressive, right? But the big question is always, did it actually work? Did all this effort translate into real-world results for the business? Let's take a look. The first big win? Website traffic. In about 6 to 12 months, the number of people finding their site from a search engine, organic traffic, shot up by over 50%. And these weren't just random clicks. These were local homeowners looking for exactly what BaaDigi offered. Now, this is the digital equivalent of getting the best storefront on Main Street. They nailed the #1 ranking in the Google Local Pack, that super important map section at the top, for monster keywords like pest control Middletown NJ. If you were in their hometown and had a pest problem, BaaDigi was the first name you saw. But traffic and rankings are great, but they don't pay the bills. Leads do. And that's the bottom line here. The volume of actual leads, we're talking phone calls, contact forms, went up dramatically. This whole strategy was directly feeding new customers into their business.
But hey, don't just take my word for it. The client's feedback really says it all. Quote, "Our phones haven't stopped ringing since the new site launched." I mean, that's it. That is the ultimate proof that this worked. So, as we wrap this up, just think about that whole playbook for a second. Was it the solid website? Was it the laser-focused local SEO? Or was it the crazy scaling power of those programmatic pages? What's the one piece of this story that could be a game changer for your own local business?